Sharpe's behavior has been very, disgusting, but he's still working, at CNN. He was never, ousted as of yet from ESPN. I'm sorry, from ESPN. So there's been some ex-employees from ESPN that have said that silenced the article. Shout out to the New York Post. There's an article that says silence ex-ESPNers fume over network handling of bombshell Shannon Sharpe allegations. Y'all, they are saying that what they did, they pretty much, one of them is a lady saying that she quit, but the other ones are saying like, we did small little things and, we got basically in trouble. But here it is, Shannon Sharpe has done these horrendous things and he still has a job. But y'all, we are going to get into it. You guys, welcome in. Smash the like button as y'all come in the building. Y'all, let's get into it. This article says former ESPN personalities had strong reactions to the bombshell of the $50 million lawsuit filed on Sunday against Shannon Sharpe, who has been accused of rape by a Jane Doe. Sage Steele, a former SportsCenter anchor who left the network 2 years ago after a legal battle over the company's COVID vaccine policy. Hey, Michael. It says, said Tuesday, there's a long list of examples where ESPN and Disney considered conservative viewpoints more offensive than questionable character. Y'all, I'm telling you, this is crazy and this is unfair. If they have did minute things, had a lawsuit and got fired, that is, unfair. ESPN, are they being fair? Are they allowing bad behavior to be rewarded and not firing people with bad behavior? I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. But y'all, let's continue. It says Steele's message came in response to a post from an ex-user that read, ESPN did not re-up my contracts to women with conservative views or silence them, while Shannon has multiple questionable actions involving women. Just putting that out there. I'm telling you, this is crazy, y'all. This is really crazy. I'm telling you. Michael says, Detroit checking in lounge. Welcome, Michael from Detroit. Y'all, let's continue because this Sage Steele, she's like, feeling a little, feeling some type of way, which I would too. Hey, D-Dot, welcome. I would feel some type of way too. If I did something very minute and then I had a lawsuit and then I get fired, but here is Shannon Sharpe, he got all these allegations, right? I would feel some type of way too, right? Excuse me, right? I would feel some type of way. It says Ashley Brewer Kaminsky, who was laid off from her job as a SportsCenter anchor in June 2023, also chimed in. Y'all, these women is coming out the woodworks. They like ESPN. Y'all, are they being sexist? I mean, I don't know. Hey, my baby Jamil Peterson says salute. Hey, Lord. Is ESPN being sexist? They're allowing the men to do whatever they want. And then as soon as a woman speaks up or says something or does a little bit of something, there's a problem and they have to get rid of them or not renew their contract. I mean, that's what it kind of sounds like to me. It sounds like some discrimination going on at ESPN. I don't know. I'm just saying this is what it sounds like to me. It says the former colleagues want to share more experiences on when they broke the rules at ESPN during the COVID-19 pandemic. It says, and at Ashley Kaminsky, remember when we got chewed out for breaking the COVID rules by standing too close to each other and posting this pitch? Steele wrote, including an image of the pair posing together on the SportsCenter set. So they got fired and let go, or their contract not renewed for something minute like this. But we got Shannon Sharpe. He is over here clapping children's cheeks from the playground, and he still has his job. I will feel some type of way. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys will feel some type of way. Hey, Hassan, how are you? I would feel some type of way, right? It says, Kaminsky, hey Stacy, how are you? Kaminsky replied, but sitting next to each other at the desk live on TV was totally fine. Steele left ESPN in 2023 when both sides settled a lawsuit she filed that stemmed from her being taken off the air in 2021 for comments made about the company's COVID vaccine policy. Wow, that's crazy. Dida says playing monkey in the middle, really middle, ready to scrap and scrambled. Yes. This is crazy. I feel like this is like a little bit, a little sexist. They got in trouble for saying something about the COVID vaccine. Hey, Ty, welcome. That's crazy. That's crazy, right? It says, I have decided to leave so I can exercise my First Amendment rights more freely, said Steele, who had worked at ESPN since 2007. She worked at ESPN from 2007 to 2021. That's a long time. That's not no short little period of time. I would be upset too. In February, Steele was named the recipient of the new media seat in a press conference at the White House. Wow. Kaminsky and former NBA player Frank Kaminsky, currently playing overseas, are expecting their first child. Wow. Dida said there's a higher strain they're trying to push. Probably so. You're absolutely right, Dida. It's like, what's going on? You allowing these men to talk and do whatever they want to do? Go out and grape, allegedly, these young girls that are 20 years old on OnlyFans? Are they trying to push an agenda to try to push it out to be like acceptable? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It says, in the wake of the news about the lawsuit, Sharpe has remained on ESPN's First Take on Mondays and Tuesdays, as well as Nightcap and Club Shay Shay podcast. So he's still fully gainfully employed. Wow. It says ESPN has yet to address the matter publicly, right? Stephen A. Smith, y'all all know Stephen A. Smith. Oh, Lord Jesus. Hey, Tammy, welcome. Y'all all know about Stephen A. Smith. Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus. Stephen A. Smith is a piece of work. But y'all, Stephen A. Smith said he received permission to deliver a statement from ESPN and Disney co-chair Jimmy Pitaro, who made it clear the company is in the process of gathering facts and is taking the matter very serious. Okay. I recruited Shannon, but I'm not the boss, Smith said on Tuesday on his self-titled YouTube show, referring to when Sharpe left Fox for ESPN in June 2023. Those are other folks. There are layers to this, and there are certain layers that I am not on. I can tell you I spoke to the chairman of Disney, the boss Jimmy Pitaro, who made it very, very clear that ESPN is taking this matter very seriously, and we are looking into this very, very closely. And once we gather as many facts as we possibly can, we will go from there. Now, let me just say this. Had this been like a teacher, had this been, a different, probably employer, let me say that, would he still have a job? I don't think so. If you grape somebody and he's being accused of, right? We can't say he's guilty, innocent, or whatever. He's just being accused of this, right? They will hurry up and get you out of there, walk you out of there, embarrass you, and tell you you're on administrative leave, right? These women just, I guess, went publicly, from what I understand, and said something about the COVID policy, and their contracts didn't get renewed. One of them had to put a whole lawsuit out, then got let go or whatever. This sounds like it's a little unfair to me. Put a one in the chat if this sounds like unfair to you guys too. Smash the like button. Yes, smash the like button. It seems like this is unfair, you guys. I mean, come on now. If you did one little measly thing, all you did was go on your Instagram, your social media, and say something about the company's COVID policy. Like, this policy is dumb. This COVID policy is dumb. We can't sit next to each other. We can't talk to each other. We can't be 6 feet within, because remember that was a COVID thing. You can't be 6 feet close, 6 feet away or whatever. Stay 6 feet away. That was the slogan for COVID. Stay 6 feet away from everybody. And they go on their social media platform and just say something about the COVID policy, and then they get all this backlash from ESPN. Then you got Shannon Sharpe. Now he has 11 women coming up after him, and he still got a job. Tammy says ESPN care more about the bag. Yes, they do, evidently so. They're like, these little females, these little crying old hags, get them out of here, crying about our COVID policy. Hurry up and get them out of here. Don't renew when does their contract end? 3 months? Okay, don't renew it. Tell them that we don't need them no more. That is crazy. I mean, that's very minute compared to what Shannon Sharpe did, and he still has his job. I mean, y'all, that sounds like sexual discrimination in the workplace to me. Put a one in the chat if y'all feel the same way. That is crazy. That is really crazy. That is really, really crazy. So it says, and all that it is, he said, and I can mention his name because I received his permission to say that. I don't know what that means. Smith added, he spoke with Sharpe about the matter. Sharpe was empathetic in stating his innocence, that this is a shakedown. Smith said, referring to Sharpe's comments about the matter in an Instagram video early Tuesday. Sharpe, who denied the allegations through his lawyer in a statement on Monday, doubled down on his denial and called it a shakedown. In her complaint, Jane Doe alleges that Sharpe committed assault, SA, battery, all of that in between, and engaged in the intentional infliction of emotional distress during a rocky consensual relationship that lasted 2 years. Now, isn't that the same emotional distress? Is that the same? I wonder if that's the same of some of the wording that was in the other ones. I don't know. Hey, guy, welcome. Is that some of the same situations that were in the other lawsuits that Tony Busby filed with them other people? Them other ones, with the Jay-Z and all that. I mean, I don't know. It's just crazy, right? It says the plaintiff, who is more than 30 years younger than him, alleges Sharpe brutally sexual assaulted her several times at the end of 2024 and at the beginning of 2025. In a virtual press conference, on Tuesday, Sharpe's counsel, Lanny J. Davis, said his client was in the midst of mediation with a woman who accused him of rape when she filed a civil lawsuit against him without warning, demanding the $50 million. Wow. It says Davis said Sharpe was willing to pay the plaintiff at least $10 million in a settlement, and that the plaintiff took advantage of the former NFL very lucrative contract for his Club Shay Shay podcast that was recently reported. Wow. Sharpe was sued a day before front office sports reporter that he is expected to sign a deal for his Club Shay Shay podcast that would exceed $100 million. After his contract with Colin Cowherd's The Volume Podcast Network recently expired. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I don't know what in the world is going on at ESPN, but I do know that if this is, what I seen, this situation is not going to be pretty for ESPN, right? ESPN might have to go and clean some house, right? Because people are going to be like, oh, I got written up for going to the bathroom in the middle of a whatever, right? Oh, I went in the middle of a meeting. Oh, I got in trouble. I got written up for this. I got written up for that. Watch what I tell you. It's going to be a trickle effect within ESPN. All them employees that have like little petty things to do, petty things that they got written up for, they're going to start coming out the woodworks too. They're going to start being like, oh my goodness, really? I got written up for this, and Shannon Sharpe is over here doing the most on the coast, and he still got his job. And not just that, he has like 4 different things going on or whatever. And he ain't getting slapped on his hand for nothing. Is that because he's bringing ESPN a whole lot of money? I think so. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think that's what it is. He is bringing ESPN so much money. The ESPN cannot even fathom letting him go. But when you talk about some lawsuits, hey Ken, how are you? Welcome. When he talk about them lawsuits of the employees that had the lawsuits on, they got let go or the contract's not being renewed. Those people, they upset. I would be too. Who wouldn't, right? Tammy says, who knows how many was kept quiet with cash. That's true, Tammy. How many was swept under the rug? Because from what I'm seeing, I'm like, he has all these women coming out the woodworks. I was even confused on the lawsuit because it has some lady named Michelle. Then he has the OnlyFans girl calling her Gabby. I'm like, what is it? You have too many women. So Tammy, facts. How many women did you pay hush money to go sit down and have a seat and not bring him to open shame back then? My baby Jamil says, surviving Shannon Sharpe series coming soon. I know, right? Oh my goodness. This is crazy. Ken says extra sensory percentage money. Yeah, I'm telling you, it is crazy. I would be upset too, as anybody should, right? I'd be like, I just went to the bathroom and during a meeting, and then they wrote me up for that. They said that I was probably going to be missing some great notes that I needed to take to write the final report or something crazy, right? I'm telling you, they're going to have a hard way to go. I'm telling you, when all these employees coming out the woodworks and saying ESPN wrote me up for this, wrote me up for that, or canceled and even fired them for certain like crazy little minute things. Oh, it's about ESPN. They may be even getting sued. They may be even, losing some dollar bills coming out their pocket too. Because these females, I don't know how many females it was, but it's already 2 females that I see on this report, right? That is saying this. So if they are saying that, like I said, how many other ones? D-Dot, you was a mess. D-Dot says Zesty Sharpe. Oh my God, you was a mess. Oh my goodness. Stacy, thanks for the cash. The super chat. Stacy says Shannon Sharpe wears more purses than I do. I know, right? I'm like, did he steal my purse? Did he steal even my outfits, y'all? I think some of my outfits is missing. They look very familiar to Shannon Sharpe's. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying they look very familiar to Shannon Sharpe's, right? I mean, he be doing the most, y'all. I'm just saying. His behavior is questionable, but is it going to be a gay guy? Is his fired barber or whatever you call a stylist, is he gonna come out and say they had a relationship? I'm wondering, Shamar, hey, Shamar says, yeah, you seen how he came out the cars? Yes, Shamar. I was looking, I was like, look at the way he's walking. He looking like he's switching like a woman. I was like, oh my God. He looks like he do got some sugar in his tank, y'all. I'm just saying. I am just saying. Lazori says if it hits Disney too much publicly, they might let him go. Wow. Excuse me. Hold on. I got a cough, y'all. Excuse me. I think that if they don't take action on Shannon and put the night lights out on him, yes, Disney and ESPN, I'm telling you, it's gonna be some smoke in the city. Watch what I tell y'all. Watch what I tell y'all. Sean says that's because them pants was the like skin. Oh my gosh, Sean, you is hilarious. Oh my God. Dida says no wonder why he be breaking his bones. Oh my God, y'all is hilarious. Y'all smash the like button, get the lights up, because I'm telling you, this situation seems like it is a little sexist to me. If they are allowing Shannon Sharpe to do whatever he wants to do, be over there on OnlyFans, you know, sliding and gliding like he's on an OnlyFans slip and slide, and not doing anything about it. Because, not saying he's on OnlyFans, you can be on OnlyFans doing whatever you want to do. But when it comes back and somebody says that you raped them, that's a whole nother ball game, right? That's a whole nother ball game. So, Shamar Evans, Shamar says surviving Shannon Sharpe on Netflix soon. Shamar, you is crazy. Look, coming to a theater near you, or maybe a Netflix near you, or something, right? Netflix near you. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Ronald. D-Dot says he can play the role of Grandma Peaches. I know, right, D-Dot? Perfect role for him, right? Grandma Peaches, oh my goodness, he would knock that role all the way out. He would knock it out the box, right? Oh my goodness. Lazora says, being a freak is not illegal, but when you're dealing with $50 million contracts, yes. That's the thing. Nobody's hollering and screaming about being a freak a leak, right? We are hollering about you allegedly raping the girl, and then that she is 20 years old at the time, right? At least reportedly. But that is kind of questionable, y'all. I don't know. But they said there's 2 lawsuits out there. I mean, I seen one with the girl's name is Michelle or Melissa, and then the OnlyFans girl's name is Gabby. So I'm getting it already confused, but I have to go back and do a little bit more research, because I don't know what is going on, but I do know he has a whole lot of women that's going to probably come after this. I mean, think about it like with Diddy. It was like one, after the other, one after the other, one after the other, was it not? And then it was by the truckload. And then they had the men coming out. Excuse me, y'all. Then they had the men coming out. So it's like, is that what's going to happen with Shannon Sharpe? The Zest Monster? I don't know. Hold on. Excuse me, y'all. Is that what's going to happen with him? Are they going to have the lawsuits by the truckload special, and then they're going to be saying that he raped these people, he did this, he did that, and then lose everything? And then throw him in the MDC? I don't know. Laura Lee, hey, welcome. Sean says, I hope this story doesn't just disappear like so many of them do. I think if the story just goes away, somebody got the bag. I think so too. I really think so. Jean says Gabriella Zunogo is the OnlyFans yeah, I don't have OnlyFans, but I tried to even look her name up and I couldn't. It wouldn't let me do anything. I don't know. Lazora says, yeah, it's a shakedown to humble him and drain his bank account. Probably so. Just like they do in Diddy. Shamar says it's crazy because wasn't he on IG live a few months ago? Yes. Remember, they did a clip just a few months ago saying that the clapping cheek situation audio was leaked. And now he's coming out saying, oh yeah, and Busby has the 10-minute tape. Busby has a 10-minute tape of you clapping this girl's cheeks. What happened to the other one a couple of months ago? What were you doing there? Huh. Is this a humiliation ritual? Did he really do this? I mean, it sounds like him on the tapes, and if he did it, he's wrong. He needs to face all consequences, and maybe he does. All them dollar bills need to be marching out of his pocket, right? Tammy says he is too old to be trolling OnlyFans for freaks of the I know, right? He is too old. He is 55 or 57 years old. He should be over there with his wife, relaxing or on vacation, still working, doing the ESPN and the Shay show here on YouTube. But to be trolling, slipping, sliding in the OnlyFans streets and coming up with these young babies like Shay. Monique told you, stay away from them little babies. Get you somebody who's older. You don't need no sugar babies. You need an older sugar baby. Let's say that. You don't need no one with Similac still dripping from their mouth. They still have a whole bottle they sucking on and a binky still sucking on their thumb. You don't need that in your life, Shannon. But Shannon, he didn't want to listen. Him didn't want to listen. Hard head make a soft behind, Mr. Shannon Sharpe, Shay. I'm just saying. It is crazy. Ken says crushing these girls and drunk from the wine he made from grape crush. He was the best. Tabby says 10 minutes. Oh my God. He needs to leave that. He needs to be scared that Busby is going to release the 10-minute tape. He need to go sit down. He should be begging. He should be, instead of trying to be tough about this tape. Oh yeah, make sure that you don't edit it. Put it out. You want Busby to put the tape out? Are you sure that you want Busby to put this tape out, Shay? I'm just asking. Are you sure? Hey, 4C Moni, welcome. Are you sure that you want this tape to be put out, Shay? Because you acting like you tough. You acting real tough right about now, Shay. And you want Busby to put the tape out, make sure he don't edit it? Are you sure? Are you sure about that? Right? D-Dot says, bring it out. Bring it out. Bring it out. Bring it out. What's that song? Bring it out. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm wondering if he wants them to really bring it out, or is he trying to troll Busby? Or is he really scared that he gonna be like, no, I didn't mean to ask for that. I didn't mean to ask for that, Busby. I'm sorry. Can I recant my story? I'm wondering. 4C Moni says, Shay said, nuck if you buck. I know, right? Remember, nuck if you buck. Nuck if you buck. He better sit down and close his mouth and not say anything, right? Tammy says it ain't nobody's fault but Shay's. Yep. We have to be responsible for our own actions, right? We have to be responsible for our own actions, right? And Shannon Sharpe, you was out there in them OnlyFans streets where the block is hot and very can be very damaging, and you didn't care. I mean, there was even another video coming out. Did y'all see my live earlier? There was that video coming out, and he was over there acting like he was an 18-year-old boy just fresh out the streets from his mama's house. He was getting excited about that OnlyFans girl that he was messing with. Have y'all heard of this OnlyFans? Do they clap, give, maybe? Do they clap, and give? Hey, have you seen this OnlyFans one? Yeah, Have you seen her? Have you seen Lucy before? Yeah, Lucy, she's a bad one. And then they be talking. I mean, this was sickening behavior from a 50-something-year-old man, 55, 57-year-old man. He is over there excited, talking about this other OnlyFans girl. And I'm like, do he live on OnlyFans? Because like I said, when I would watch his show, I watched the show very, very only like twice or something, very I can count on one hand. But when I watched it, Ocho Cinco was like, Unc, you're late. Unc, what happened? And he's giving this long story about why he was late. Was he over there on OnlyFans streets clapping cheeks and he couldn't even make it on time to start the podcast? I think so. I really think so. I really think so. Shay Shay is a hot mess, but y'all, let's continue. Let's listen.
This is a shakedown.
We have a new public response, a new disturbing piece of audio, and new graphic text messages. The legal battle between NFL Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe and his sexual assault accuser definitely has intensified. As we go through these new developments, who's telling the truth about what really happened? Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
Smash the like button, y'all. Shout out to Law and Crime. Smash the like button.
Legal war has begun, and this time it's between NFL Hall of Famer, podcaster, commentator Shannon Sharpe and the woman who is accusing him of sexually assaulting and raping her as recently as January of this year. Now, we covered this earlier in the week, but now, not only has Shannon Sharpe fired back in a major way, releasing a public message, a response, apparently revealing the identity of this Jane Doe, but he's also published never-before-seen apparent text messages between the two.
Wow.
Quite a response, to say the least. And then what happens? You think the story ends there? No. She fires back by releasing an apparent audio tape between her and Shannon Sharpe.
Wow, and y'all, I'm telling you, this audio, it is crazy. It is unbelievable. Hey, Adrian, welcome in. Y'all smash the like button, y'all. Clap Shay Shay. Uncle Shannon, Uncle, whatever they call him. He is doing the most on the coast, y'all. He is acting like he is like 18 all over again. Y'all, maybe, hold on real quick, y'all. We're going to take a real quick poll. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think, I just thought of this right now. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think, hold on, let me turn the camera real quick. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys think that Uncle Shay Shay, Shannon Sharpe, whatever you want to call him, is he having a midlife crisis? Is Unc having a midlife crisis, y'all? I mean, he figured out that he can mess with these OnlyFans girls, and he tried one. He was like, ooh, yeah, that one. Ooh, let me go to the next one. Ooh, yeah. And then he's like 100 girls in. And then he's acting like he is riding the OnlyFans rainbow, the OnlyFans like slip and slide. I think so, y'all. Let's get the likes up. Smash the like button. Let's listen to what he got to say. Let's continue.
This has crossed to a whole different kind of level, and I want to get into what we're seeing right now. We're going to break it down, but first, let's take a step back.
Hey, Kendra.
A little bit more about the backstory, what's happening here. So, we have 56-year-old Shannon Sharpe, who has been sued by an unidentified woman. She's going by the pseudonym Jane Doe, and she is suing him for $50 million in Nevada court. She claims that after meeting Shannon Sharpe at the gym back in 2023 and beginning a consensual relationship with him, who, by the way, she claims is 30 years older than her, it escalated into him allegedly insisting they record their sexual activity, sometimes without her knowledge, him sharing those videos with others, him allegedly telling her...
Wait a minute. Now, why in the world was there a video even consumed with this OnlyFans? Like, this is crazy. He don't understand that this is proof and evidence. I mean, this is crazy.
That he would do things to her that, quote, would make no other man want her, that he allegedly manipulated her, controlled her, threatened her, intimidated her, was able to gain access to her apartment complex without her permission. For example, this is from the lawsuit. It reads, the verbal abuse never stopped. He would berate and degrade plaintiff, just as he had from the beginning. One time specifically, he was yelling at her while there was a firearm visible in his...
My baby Jamil said, you is a mess, Jamil. Jamil said, surviving Shannon Sharpe's choke slaps. I am weak. Y'all, let's get the like button up. Smash the like button, y'all. Smash the like button. If y'all think that Shannon Sharpe, did he like to choke her, or did she like for him to choke? So y'all, smash the like button. This is crazy. Let's get them likes up, y'all.
Room. Terrified for her safety, plaintiff tried sharing her location with friends from her iPhone just in case. But Sharpe saw her doing this.
Wow.
Stop, ladies. Do not.
Oh my goodness, y'all. This situation, I'm telling you, it is very, 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 I'm telling you, this situation is going to land him, I mean, on the corner, on the street corner, on maybe Hollywood Boulevard on the corner, because there's no way that all this stuff right here is going to go away very soon. It's not. Let's continue, you guys.
Jane Doe claiming that in October of 2024, Sharpe violently sexually assaulted and raped her in Las Vegas, all while she was allegedly sobbing. And she claims he did this again recently in January of 2025, her allegedly begging him to stop as this was purportedly going on. So she has sued him for assault, sexual battery, sexual battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress. She's being represented by Texas attorney Tony Busby, who we know famously represented a...
Wow. Wow. Hey, Dion says whatever. Wow. Y'all, we already know Tony Busby. When it's time for him to get these lawsuits, y'all, he be bringing lawsuits by the truckload, does he not? He be bringing them truckloads by them lawsuits by the truckload. I'm just saying, D-Dot says Shannon picking these women like flowers. Exactly. The baby flowers at that. I'm just saying, y'all, let's continue. Smash the like button. Let's get the likes up.
Jane Doe in a now defunct sexual assault lawsuit against Jay-Z. He represents several accusers and actions against Sean Diddy Combs as well. But as I mentioned, Shannon Sharpe has responded. This is what we want to get into. And let me tell you, did he respond? A lot of money at stake in this case, right? And talking money, actually, how about getting money back? Let me tell you about Upside. Upside is fantastic. It is a free...
Let me skip that. Yes. Let me see. 4C Moni says it shows his level of maturity. Yes. At 55, you shouldn't be doing the stuff you're doing. And then you question and wonder, I'm 55, I should be almost ready to retire. I should be, enjoying this job at ESPN. And here he is playing on OnlyFans, like he got some OnlyFans addiction, right? All them little ho-ho-ho Merry Christmases over there, they over there for a reason and a purpose, right? And I'm not trying to be mean or nothing like that. I'm just keeping it real. What is the purpose of OnlyFans? It's like the legal online red light district, the online red light district, right? I'm just saying. He's over there doing the most on the coast and late to these podcasts. Ocho Cinco waiting for him like, where Unc at? Unc, where you at? Oh, I'm on my way. Oh, I'm on my way. No, you are over there in the midst of clapping somebody's cheeks. And it's getting so good to you that you is late to work. Late to your podcast. You just can't get enough, right? Let's continue, y'all. Smash the like button. Let's get the likes up. This is ridiculous. Come on, Shay Shay.
This isn't right, and he says that this whole thing is being orchestrated by Tony Busby.
Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened.
Club Shay Shay. Unc. You is really trying to punk Busby, right? I don't think you want to tread them waters, right? I don't think he wants to tread them waters. I'm just saying. He is out here in the streets running amok, doing the most on the coast, and then he's trying to act like, put that tape out. I don't want to see that tape. I don't want to see it or even want to hear it. Right? He talking about put the 10 minutes out. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear the rest of it. Let's say that. I don't want to hear the rest of it, y'all. Let's continue.
And you're trying to manipulate the media.
And he goes on to say that the encounter in question took place during the day at the invitation of Jane Doe, says that this was all a deliberate setup by her. He also, by the way, revealed her first name, and apparently her name that she purportedly uses on OnlyFans. We're not going to reveal those names here. We're not going to do that. But he does go on to say, quote, "My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about, and I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do." And we also got a statement from his attorney. Lonnie J. Davis, and that reads, Mr. Sharpe categorically denies all allegations of coercion or misconduct, especially the gross lie of rape, and will not submit to what he sees as an egregious attempt at blackmail. He stands firmly by the truth and is prepared to fight these false claims vigorously in court. And Davis has also commented about that apparent tape that was seemingly referenced by Sharpe, because he accuses Jane Doe of providing a, quote, secretly recorded and heavily edited video to them that purports to be a non-consensual encounter of some kind. But Davis claimed that Jane Doe...
Ruben, you is a mess. Ruben says no wonder why he's sponsored by the gum that works like Viagra. Oh my God, I am weak. Y'all is crazy. Lazora says, not Golden Girls. Thank you for being a friend. Oh my God, y'all is hilarious. I'm telling you, this is crazy. Oh my God.
Quote, has refused to provide a copy of the full unedited version of the recording to Mr. Sharpe's legal team. And then there's this. Sharpe and his legal team released all of these apparent text messages between him and this Jane Doe, reportedly 44 pages worth of communications. For example, as reported by TMZ, there's one apparent message from October 2023 where Jane Doe seemingly messages Sharpe, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it.
Wow. Whoa. I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're clapping my cheeks. This girl was a freak-a-leak. Oh my God. She wants him to put a collar around her neck while he clapped them cheeks. Wow. He knew when he got on OnlyFans. OnlyFans is a whole freak-a-leak booty call website, right? Let's just be for real. Ain't nobody on there over there talking about, can I teach you how to read? Can I teach you how to cook? Can I teach you how to fold some clothes up? Oh, absolutely not. Can I teach you how to clap some cheeks? Can I teach you how to put the choke collar around me, how to choke me? That's what they're over there doing, right? But you are over there entertaining it. You know that when you go over there, right? You already know what the possibilities are, right? It's like you going to Walmart and you know Walmart, you go in there, you go grocery shopping, right? You get on OnlyFans and you go clapping cheek shopping on OnlyFans, right? I'm just saying. So you knew that you was treading some dangerous waters when you went over there, right? You should have put your floaty on, or maybe a condom on, or maybe, you shouldn't have went over there, period, point blank, and you probably wouldn't be in this situation. But I'm sure, other situations that they didn't try to sweep up under the rug. I mean, from ESPN and all this other stuff, Club Shay, Uncle Unc, whatever. It seems like you maybe have a problem and maybe a little bit of a reputation about this. I don't know. I'm just saying, y'all put a one if y'all think so. Yeah, let's continue, y'all.
Keeping me. Now, the New York Post reporting on other messages allegedly from Jane Doe, like tie me up and do bad things to me.
Wow.
I missed this big juicy bleep,
Oh,
25K.
oh my God. Tie me up and do bad things to me? Whoa. I know you missed this big juicy 25K for each cheek. Oh, was she basically telling him, was she basically telling him right there, this is how much you're going to end up paying? Make me upset, make me mad, and this is how much I'm telling you, $25,000 per cheek. And then she had a whole laundry list of a whole bunch of other things that she was charging with on the lawsuit. Oh my God. Tammy says, Shannon likes to hug and be hugged from the back, extremely tight, period. I know, right? Didn't that one lady that was, I think it was one of the ladies that he allegedly had a relationship with, said that he liked to be, the finger to go in his backyard. In the backyard. I'm just saying, y'all, oh my goodness, y'all, we got to finish this. This is crazy. Oh my goodness, he is a whole freak. This little young girl, I think she started freaking off at a young age, because I'm telling you, at 20 years old and telling him, a 55-year-old, to tie me up. Oh, this girl right here, she is a professional, y'all. She is taking Shannon Sharpe. She is taking him right on to the bank, right? And all them dollar bills about to march out of his account into hers. Y'all, let's continue.
For each cheek, tie me up like this and bleep me, with Sharpe replying,
Wow.
If I knew how to, I would.
Wow.
She wrote back, it's okay, I have handcuffs, we can stick to those for now.
Oh, she is even into the, hold up. She's even into the handcuffs. Oh my God, y'all, this is crazy.
Tie me up like this and bleep me, with Sharpe replying, if I knew how to, I would. She then allegedly wrote back, it's okay, I have handcuffs, we can stick to those.
Oh, so she wants to be locked up and get her cheeks clapped? Oh, and she won't be like, Wayne, Mr. Officer. Oh my goodness, y'all, she's a freak league. Wow.
For now, Jane Doe also allegedly writing, I want like some hardcore BDSM action though, and feeling kind of freaky lately.
Wow.
This apparent message from March 14, 2024, I want to be abused, daddy. And then another message from last year where she apparently wrote him, I've always wanted a black baby. Now, Lonnie Davis.
Wow.
And, quote, the evidence paints a clear picture. This was a consensual adult relationship that included role-playing, sexual language, and fantasy scenarios. So what happens then? Again, this is not the end of the story. Jane Doe ends up releasing an audio tape seemingly between her and Sharpe. And I'm going to explain part of what is heard on this tape. We can't play it for legal reasons, but here is part of the exchange, and this part is key. Again, this is...
Wow.
The best way to attract
oh my God.
clients is
Y'all, this girl, she had a whole menu. She had a whole freak off menu. She was like, what do you want? Do you want the number one? The number one is handcuffs. Do you want the number two? The number two, it comes with the dog collar. Y'all, she was a whole freak. And whatever he didn't know, it seemed like she was going to teach him, right? She was going to teach him how to tie her up, how to handcuff her, or whatever the case may be, y'all. Oh my God, this is crazy. Let's continue.
If you say that word one more time, I'm going to choke the bleep out of you next time I see you.
Wow.
Jane pauses, takes a minute, and says, well, I don't want to be choked. And Sharpe replies, yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter. Now, to be clear, this tape may only be a portion of the entire conversation and audio, but this appears to be a portion nonetheless. Jane Doe's attorney, again, Tony Busby, described this audio as, quote, the contents of this clip are certainly not sexual. They are not playful. They are instead disturbing, aggressive, and dangerous. This audio paints a very clear picture of how Sharpe treated Jane Doe, leading her to escape from him by leaving Nevada and blocking all contact with him. And
Wait,
that they released this.
But I know they said, you guys, that supposedly this girl, I think they said he was in California and then moved to Nevada, and she was in California, and then she moved to Nevada too. If y'all heard that, put a 1 in the chat, because I think that's what I heard, but I may be wrong. But let me know if y'all heard the same thing.
This audio in response to Sharpe's lawyer, Lonnie Davis, trying to discredit Jane Doe by releasing all of these alleged texts, which, by the way, Busby says are basically irrelevant because they're all before the alleged assault. Okay, so now I want to bring on Mauricio Padilla, litigator, criminal defense attorney, to talk more about this. Mauricio, thanks so much for taking the time. Let's just start with the lawsuit and the allegations, suing for $50 million. Very graphic details about these multiple alleged sexual assaults and rapes. Your take just on the initial lawsuit and allegations.
My take on the initial lawsuit and allegations and the publicity that's come right after it. There's rules of ethics to prohibit people from trying their case in the media, and I think from the onset, both sides are engaging in releasing what could be evidence, and the rules of ethics from state to state vary, but they pretty much usually are concentrated on not releasing any information that could possibly affect a jury, and they're out there releasing pages and pages of text messages, they're out there releasing audio. It looks to me like both sides are engaged in trying to litigate this in the media before litigating.
Yeah, she's she's trying to get a payday. She was like, I'm about to cash out. Oh, he got this $100 million deal on the table. Oh, he thinks that I'm gonna walk away. You know, when I'm saying that, you know, I'm hollering, you know, the grape word. Let me go ahead and get a piece of that money, right? He ain't gonna sit down comfortably. I'm gonna go ahead and give me a piece too. I'm gonna make myself a self-millionaire off of his money overnight if I can. That's what she's saying. The OnlyFans is pumping too, but she wants to go and get some more money from him. Y'all, let's continue. This is crazy.
Getting it in a court of law.
But isn't that the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively effect, right? Isn't that what we're seeing now? It's the idea of let's battle this out on the court of public opinion, particularly, by the way, when you're dealing with such a public figure like Shannon Sharpe. The idea of if I'm fighting this in a court of law, but I'm also fighting this in the court of public opinion, if I can put enough out there to try to reverse the narrative, maybe not only I'll still retain my fan base, my career, but also it puts pressure on Jane Doe maybe to stop the lawsuit, or maybe not, because she fired back too.
Oh no, she's not gonna stop this lawsuit. She's gonna push it to the limits. Whatever she can do to continue this lawsuit, oh, she's gonna do it. She's not gonna stop. She sees that $100 million contract. She ain't about to stop. Oh, absolutely not.
I'm not saying that you know they shouldn't do it, because unfortunately we live in a time where if you don't do that on behalf of your client, are you doing them a disservice? I'm just mentioning the fact that none of this is really allowed pursuant to the rules of ethics, but I understand why they're doing it, because nowadays pretty much the court of public opinion is dictating what happens in court in and of itself.
Right.
So it's just part of litigating cases nowadays.
Are you concerned by the content, the value of those text message conversations? Does it complicate?
Now, if they take it to court and they read these in court, Shannon Sharpe, he might as well hang it up, right? I think the choking, the collar thing, all this stuff is showing that, you know, he's guilty, right? I mean, let's just be for real. Let's be honest, right? She had kept the whole conversation between both of them. And then it's showing everybody that the art, I mean, is she not producing evidence, right? She is producing evidence that can take him out, right? Let's just be honest. Let's continue.
This case, let me rephrase. Putting aside, assuming these really are the real conversations and the real messages of Jane Doe, you could say, I mean, she's talking about BDSM, tying up, dog collars, choking, and then
She is wild.
accuses him of sexual assault and being violent with her. Let me actually read you something from the lawsuit. Okay, so this is from the lawsuit. It says, a woman can say yes to consensual sexual relations with a man 99 times, but when she says no, even once, that no means no. Defendant Shannon Sharpe, a man who is accustomed to getting what he wants, completely fails to understand this basic concept. After many months of manipulating and controlling plaintiff, a woman more than 30 years younger than he, and repeatedly threatening to brutally choke and violently slap her, Sharpe refused to accept the answer no and raped plaintiff despite her sobbing and repeated screams of no.
Wow. Tammy said the girl got a lot of receipts that makes him look guilty even if he's not. Exactly. Even if he didn't, and this is like a fake like cry out just for a money grab, if it's a fake thing, because I watched something else earlier and they were like, well, why didn't she call 911? Why didn't she go to the police? Why didn't she go to the police and try to get Shannon Sharpe if he is a whole monster and raped her? Why didn't she call the police instead of filing a lawsuit? That's very questionable. What do y'all think? I think if somebody says that you raped them and it's like, you know, they violated you, why didn't she go call 911? Why didn't she go straight to the police station and file a police statement and tell the police what he did to her instead of filing a lawsuit? The first thing she files is a lawsuit. This is why I'm saying this is like, you know, it kind of can go both ways. I tried to play devil's advocate, tried to be, you know, play like both sides. Well, is she lying? Is Shannon Sharpe, maybe he did do this. They did have a sexual relationship, but when she got mad, maybe he told her, no, I'm not going to do this, or whatever the case. Maybe she got mad and was like, I'm going to go file a lawsuit, right? If this meant so much to you, Why didn't you go and call 911 or take your little skanky butt over there to the police? That's why I'm saying, if he did it, he's wrong, right? I'm not condoning bad behavior. But at the same time, we got these girls, with the Diddy case, all these girls hollering out the window, oh, he raped me, oh, he raped me. And then all those lawsuits, they just mysteriously disappeared. So if this is a takedown, I mean, it kind of makes me wonder, is it? Because, like I said, I seen this video and they said, well, if she was raped, why didn't she call 911? I was like, that's right. Like, when you get in a car accident, are you just going to be like, oh, I'm just going to sit here and wait and just maybe, see if somebody will come? Or are you going to call 911 for them to hurry up and come and get you? And try to help you figure out the situation. If this is true, why didn't she say, I'm going to call 911 because I don't want this to happen to the next female? Or dude, allegedly, because allegedly he may be like both. But why didn't she call 911 so this wouldn't happen to the next person? Right? So I don't know. I'm just playing like the devil's advocate on this. But let's continue, guys. Let's continue. Because if he did it, he's dead wrong. But if this is a money grab for her, I mean, she's dead wrong. Because she should have went to the police and called 911 and took him off the streets. I'm just saying.
So you look at those messages. Are they irrelevant?
If you establish a pattern of, S&M, a pattern of voluntarily submitting yourself to someone, to accepting, violence, to accepting as part of the norm of your sex life, then obviously that's something that could be used, because he's going to say, yeah, it was consensual. So when a jury's trying to analyze whether or not...
Lazarus, you are absolutely right. Why at 56 years old are you putting yourself in these situations? And then you over here crying, hollering, slinging snot, trying to, if this is true, I'm just going off of his behavior, coming up here saying, put the tape out, Tony, put it out, put the whole 10 minutes out, don't edit it. Like, you really being tough out here in these streets. But if he did it, like I said, I don't know, I wasn't there, we weren't there. If it is true, then, he's going to have to take the L if he did treat and act in this disgusting behavior. But if it's not, should she face the ramifications of lying? You guys, put a 1 in the chat. If she's lying, do y'all think that they should arrest her and take her to jail if this is true, that, it was like consensual and she's just trying to get, a money grab? But the like Tammy said, the evidence and the proof, I mean, she does have the text, she does have the voice recording, but sometimes people can, let me turn the camera. Sometimes people can have a recording of you saying something or doing something, and it can be meant in one way. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes somebody can make it sound so good to be in a negative tone, a negative aspect, to where this like sounds believable. Like, and I'm only saying this, I wasn't there. I'm just thinking, did she really say she wanted to be choked? Did she really say that she likes that type of stuff, whatever they call it? And, she likes the chokes, the chains and all this stuff. And did she say, hey, when I act out or when I do this, just say, do you want to be choked? Because that turns me on. I'm just saying, you guys, I don't know. I wasn't there. But is this the case in that realm of the way of, thinking? I mean, I don't know. Tammy says if she's lying, she absolutely should pay for it. Yes, I think so. Because like I said, anybody can say whatever, but she has the recordings, right? She has the text messages. But we don't know what the arrangement was, because did she say, Shannon, when I act crazy, just tell me do you want to be choked? Because that calms me down. That makes me get back in line and walk a straight line. I'm just saying, y'all, some people do. Hey, Pang, how are you? Some people like to say that to their partner. Hey, if I'm acting crazy, just tell me, hey, girl, stop acting like that, or whatever the case may be. Maybe that's her thing. I like to be choked. Tell me I want to be choked, and that will calm me down. I don't know. Y'all, let's continue.
These acts of violence, or consensual or not, they can obviously look to the history of the relationship and whether or not she's going to admit it. So you put her on the stand and you're like, so You allowed him to choke you. You allowed him to hit you previously. And that was something that you guys engaged in, voluntary sexual behavior, and you found it pleasurable. And you did it for...
Been in a car
Wow.
accident.
I'm telling you, let's skip this commercial, but I'm telling you, if this is, he should pay for it. But if it isn't, I think she should go to jail. But y'all, let's continue.
For the X amount of months, but then on this particular day, you told him no. So it's something that it's fruitful to bring up a trial. I think they would be doing them a disservice if they didn't explore that more. And yeah, ultimately, what Mr. Busby's saying is true. A woman can say yes 99 times and say no that 100th time, but the historical behavior of accepting violence as the norm in your bedroom and in your sex life is something that a jury can look at to determine whether or not she did in fact say no. Because he's going to say that she said yes. He's not going to admit that she said no, that he raped her.
No, I hear you. And I knew that he was going to get on the defensive. I mean, if you believe his side, right, that he's completely innocent, you get hit with this lawsuit, right? You want to defend yourself immediately. He goes out, he puts out this message on Instagram. Do you think he was advised by his lawyer to do so? Let's start there. And B, purportedly outing her, naming her name. Just the first name, and also what her apparent handle is, her name on OnlyFans. Is that appropriate? Is that right? I mean, again, he's defending himself, but she filed this anonymously.
Right. Well, whether or not his attorney
She filed this anonymously, but yes, Ebony said, Detroit, she said she wants baby gravy. Yes, she was a whole, that's what I'm saying, y'all. They got these girls out here that are whole freaks. I mean, she's on OnlyFans, right? She's on OnlyFans. She probably like really nasty, disgusting, freaky. I mean, probably doing all kind of disgusting things in the bedroom, turning all these men out, right? So if this is true, if it is, like I said, Shannon Sharpe should pay. But if it's not, she should pay. And they need to start making examples of these women. When they have, we see she has, her proof and evidence. But if they can dissect this and then come out and to the fact and say, oh no, this was consensual. This is what she told me. She liked to be choked. She asked me to tell her, do you want to be choked or whatever the case may be, right? But this girl, she is a freak, a leak, y'all. But let's continue.
advise him to do it. If he took those steps without discussing it with his attorney should be very upset at him doing something of that nature. I don't think that an attorney can counsel their client to disclose the identity of a victim in a sex case. So I don't think that his attorney would ever admit to taking those steps simply because there's, laws to protect victims in sex crimes. But I understand why it's beneficial to his defense. I'm putting it out there.
Michael Barber says we love freaks and 403s. Well, whatever anybody's, a sexual preference is of freaks or whatever, right? When you go into OnlyFans, we already know that they are, probably certified freaks, right? But you know what waters you're treading to, right? Oh, I want to go over there because there's the freaks over there. I mean, he seemed like he got OnlyFans credit card that is a platinum credit card over there on the OnlyFans because he was over there. I did a live earlier. He was with Ocho Cinco and that other guy talking about another OnlyFans girl. So he must like the OnlyFans situation set up, right? But at the same time, when you are over there treading, over there doing this and doing that with these girls, this is a whole situation that you don't want to encounter and ensue like the one he's in now. You're taking a chance. Monique told you, don't go over there. Stay from the playground. But he didn't want to stay from the playground. He was over there on the slip and slides, on the slide. He was on the monkey bars. On the merry-go-round. He was over there having a great time in kids' playland. I'm just saying, y'all, let's continue.
I'm saying who you are. I'm saying that you're an OnlyFans person. I'm saying that we were engaged in this voluntary sexual behavior where you possibly accepted money to do sexual things on camera or do sexual things for me. So it definitely benefits his defense in letting people know, listen, this is not the person that Busby's saying that it is. This is a person that I'm telling you who she is. So I think it's beneficial.
And to reverse it, I said this when I covered it earlier in the week. This lawsuit being filed by Tony Busby, he's got crosshairs on him right now. He filed a lawsuit against Jay-Z by a Jane Doe who claims that she was sexually assaulted by Jay-Z when she was 13 years old back in 2000. That lawsuit against him was dropped.
Paying you is a mess. You is hilarious. Payne said if he likes choking women's, why he don't look for a woman who works for UFC because they like that sugar honey iced tea too. I know, right, Payne? That'd be the perfect job for him. He can go over there and choke all of them out, and it may be a turn on to them too, right? They may like be, oh my goodness, this turns me on. Choke me a little harder. Oh my goodness, I don't like my toes to be sucked, but I like to be choked, right? I'm sorry. Yes, he wants to be. He. I don't know. He is a mess, but you get what you pay for too, right?
Rob, the NBC did a report questioning the credibility of some of her.
This is me about a month into
Uh-oh.
my field.
Let's you get what you pay for, right? You signed up for the program, and that's what the program came with. I mean, the program came with her begging for the gravy and all kind of stuff, right? I mean, let's be for
Attorneys came forward
real.
and said, no, we have proof that the people you say were there weren't there. And that lawsuit was dropped. He's now being sued. That Jane Doe's being sued. You would think, okay, if this happened, I'm going to maybe take a look.
Oh, so that Jane Doe is being sued. See, that's what I'm saying. They need to make it. Look, even if you're a woman, right, or a man, nobody wants to have that label on them. Oh, he great me or she great me, right? As a woman or a man, we don't want that charge. We don't want that blemish on our record, on our name. So I think that they should start holding these people accountable, because it's like becoming an epidemic of people lying and saying this person did this person did that. And let's be for real. If it was us, I wouldn't want that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want that. Oh, this little boy, he said that I was rubbing his booty and that I raped him and stuff like that. And I ain't even never been in a room by myself with, that's what they're doing. They should make an example. Oh, you lie, you're going to get some time, probation or whatever the case may be, a fine or whatever. Instead of allowing these women to keep doing this, and the men too. It works both ways. But y'all, let's continue.
Step back here, but to go so public and forward with allegations against a high-profile figure like Shannon Sharpe, he must not only believe the account of Jane Doe, he must believe he's got the goods to back it up.
Definitely. And listen, when you're an attorney, you have wiggle room in the sense that if you have a client that's telling you what their version, you have to act reasonably, and you can't just believe someone that you may have knowledge that she suffers from psychiatric conditions, but you have a lot of leeway. Like, you have a client that's telling you, you're allowed to believe your client and you're allowed to litigate on their behalf. And obviously there's rules in place for a lawyer not to pipe or a complete myth and sue people without a basis. But when you do have a client that's telling you what occurred, I think he has a lot of leeway in the way that he acts, simply because he has a client that's telling him, and he's allowed to believe that client. Now, there's limits, and apparently, regarding the Jay-Z, fronted with evidence that he couldn't refute regarding the lack of liability, then he dropped the lawsuit. If he's
and now let's go back to the Jay-Z. Busby had a lawsuit with that 13-year-old girl, and I was confused. I was like, wait, hold on, wait a minute. Like, this lawsuit doesn't make sense. And he's like, yeah, she snuck out at night, and then, she had a friend that took her 5 hours away. What 13-year-old child is sneaking out their parents' house and has a friend old enough to even drive 5 hours? That sounded bogus to me. That's why I'm like in question with this situation, because to me, Busby is, I'm just like questioning some of the things that he had in the lawsuits, the situations, the stories, y'all. I am just wondering, is this really a true situation? I mean, I don't know, because like I said, we weren't there, but I just kind of think on that side of the house, because he tore the frame out of Jay-Z, and Jay-Z, he came out kicking and screaming, I ain't paying that woman not one red cent, and this and that. And I was like, ooh, Jay-Z, ooh, you probably did this because you got Ramir, you didn't, clapped his mom's cheeks when she was 15 or 16, allegedly, right? I'm just saying. So I was like, oh, the 13-year-old, oh, that's not far-fetched far-fetched and few in between, from 16 to 13, like, I wonder. But Jay-Z, he was hotter than fish grease, y'all. But y'all, let's continue.
Defending his own lawsuit, that's separate from this one. So I don't see why a guy like Busby would change his, his MO, so to speak, and retreat, because at the end of the day, he's making money. He's making money, he's trying to make money, and he's got insurance to, to defend him of lawsuits, so I don't see why he would change.
Now I want to move on to the audio tape. This audio tape that was apparently released by Jane Doe's side. Now, again, this might only be a portion of the conversation, but it is a portion of this conversation, and it's important. You'll have Tony Busby saying this is nothing fun about this. There's nothing sexual about this. This is disturbing. This is him threatening to choke her and saying she's not going to have a choice. Whereas I imagine you're going to hear Shannon.
But y'all, I don't know. I think I may be wrong. Like I said, she has the audio, she has the text messages. But who's to say that she didn't record the part where she says, "Ooh, daddy, tell me, you want to choke me whenever I act bad or whenever I get out of line." Because she already had text messages talking about she wants him to put a dog collar around her neck. So what does that tell y'all? I'm telling you, this does seem a little sketchy. Yes, I believe that he probably did have a clapping cheeks relationship with this girl, and she was a freak, and she probably turned him out. I mean, he was probably like so amused on what she was doing to him, in that bedroom, where he was like, okay, yeah, and then after a while, it's like she got on his nerves. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It's just crazy.
Sharpe say there's more to context to the conversation. Look at what our relationship was like. But this was another move in this chess game, releasing.
Can't laugh it out loud. You're a mess.
What's your take on it?
Everyone knows you need.
Oh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Y'all hear me? Okay. Can y'all hear me? Okay. What I was saying was I'm not going to support nobody in their wrong. If you're wrong, right? I don't care what you have done, who you are to me, what your relationship. If you're wrong, you're wrong. But at the same time, like Tammy said, I want to hear the whole audio. But also, did she not record when she was telling him? Possibly. I'm just thinking, I'm thinking, I'm playing devil's advocate. Did she tell him that? Oh, when I act up, just say you want to choke me. That will calm me down and I'll act right. But she didn't record that part. But she's saying, oh, I like to be choked. I like to be chained up and stuff like that. Right? So I'm just wondering, is this a situation where, a sticky situation where he got himself into, which he did evidently, because he's on OnlyFans. He is doing the most on the coast, and he is enjoying it because he's talking about other OnlyFans girls too with Ocho Cinco. So he probably got into a situation that was a little bit too big for his britches. And this girl, she had some game. She had a whole game plan, right? She was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna reel him in. I'm gonna tell him that I like to be choked. I like to put the dog collar. I like my toes to be sucked and nibble on my ears. And then when he makes me upset, I'm just going to tell him that he's going to be charged $25,000 per butt cheek, $50 million for sucking on the toes. Yes, and he didn't suck on them right. I'm telling you, this girl she played him all the way to the left, but he put himself in that situation. Ain't nobody told you to go out there on OnlyFans and be trying to recruit these young 20-year-olds. You should have recruited one that was about 60. I'm just saying, y'all. Let's continue.
if you're a man and you're talking like that to a woman, even if your defense is, you have to look at the totality of the circumstances. You have to look at the relationship that we had where she was voluntarily submissive to me. And then I was, in a position where we would obtain sexual pleasure from me being a dominant figure. That has to be his defense. But a lot of people would reject that right off the bat. Like, that's something that a lot of people are not going to stomach, are not going to understand. And he definitely has his work cut out in trying to explain to the viewing public why that type of language to a woman is appropriate. It has to be, his defense has to be that you're only looking at a small piece, but if you look at the entire relationship, that's how we would do it, and that's because she was submissive to me. People are going to reject that.
Now, I will tell you this. As this came out, I said to myself, how did they release those messages so quickly? They must have had it ready, right? You can't just have those messages. And I said to myself,
And y'all see, he is even saying there's something suspicious. How you get those messages so quick? How did you get those messages so quick? That's what I'm saying. He is, and I believe, I want to say Jesse Weber, I think he's a lawyer. I think this a little bit, that's what I'm saying, y'all. I'll be, go into conspiracy mode. But some of this stuff is like, yes, he probably did have the relationship, but some of this stuff is like she was reeling him in, and then when she got upset, she was like, oh, homeboy, you about to pay. You about to pay for this. And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all. I'm going to go in on you. You got this $100 million. You done made me mad. You told me to be home when the street lights come on. And my mom don't even tell me that no more because I'm 20. She is going to take him all the way to the bank, y'all. I'm telling you. Let's continue.
did they know this was coming? Well, what do I come to find out? According to NBC, Lonnie Davis, again representing Shannon Sharpe, has confirmed that Sharpe apparently made a financial offer to this Jane Doe to try to settle this case before she filed it. In fact, while it seems he first said that it was tens of millions of dollars, then clarified and said it was at least...
Did I say his ears are not matching? One of them looks fake. I am weak, Dida. BZB says Monique told him to leave them young girls alone. She sure did. And he thought it was, hold on, y'all. Monique was trying to help the brother out. She said you need to go get somebody who knows how to cook some smothered pork chop, oxtails, yellow rice, and go and chill on the sofa, right? And he did not want to listen. And then next thing you know, we watch him on the Ocho Cinco show laughing and joking and acting like he is just having a good time. Like he is really, he is in them OnlyFans streets so hard he can't even stop. You know how you indulge in like something that you really like I love cheesecake. Like, oh, this cheesecake is so good. I just can't resist. He indulges in the OnlyFans and he cannot resist. He's like, oh my goodness. Oh, let me go see which one. Let me go find which one today. Oh my God, Sarah is looking hotter. Oh, Sarah, she's looking beautiful. Oh my God, with her blonde hair. Oh yes. Oh, how old is she? Oh, she just turned 21. Oh, she's ripe. She's ready. Oh my, he could not help himself. He could not help himself. He has a problem, right? He got a problem, right? But y'all, let's continue.
$10 million? So the idea that if that's true, they tried to get to settle it, and then she files, and now they have their messages ready, what does that tell you?
Listen, I think that's part of what BuzzFeed has been doing historically. Like, they approach you and they tell you, listen, we have this. Let me know if you want to resolve this previously. I think if anybody looks at like the P. Diddy didn't do it, right? And then they filed against him and he settled the case in a day. We see the value of resolving cases. So I think it's on par with how BuzzFeed has been litigating his prior cases to give them an opportunity. When you look at it, yeah, settlement negotiations are usually privileged. If someone hears that he offered $10 million, what is a normal person going to think? He's guilty of something. Because people don't go out there throwing around tens of millions or millions of dollars to resolve cases when they're innocent. People are gonna associate that offer of settlement, which they probably shouldn't, but they will. They're gonna associate that offer of settlement with guilt.
Yep. Because we know when Cassie put that settlement on Diddy, and then Diddy was like, I ain't paying her. I'm not paying her. And then next thing you know, when Cassie put that lawsuit on Diddy went and he paid her. I mean, as soon as you turn the water off, the water couldn't even finish dripping from the spout, and he already had paid her off, right? So is this a I don't know. Is this a situation where she's trying to get a whole overnight payday? I mean, I kind of believe so, because why didn't she go and call 911? Why didn't she go to the police station, right? I don't know. It sounds so suspicious.
Seen Shannon Sharpe file a countersuit of any kind, but talk to me if this works. Could he countersue for defamation, or is there a litigation privilege, right? You're allowed to make claims against somebody. You're shielded away from every time anybody sues anybody. The other side will say it's not true. You can't just turn around and say it's defamation, right? I mean, could he sue for defamation?
Right. Well, you're right. There is a litigation privilege regarding.
And see, that's what I was talking about. That's what I said. When these females and males too come and say that you did this to them, and knowing that they do, like, she has a little bit of proof, right? But is this proof the real situation, or did she try to play it to her advantage? Why didn't she go and call 911? Why didn't she go to the police station, have somebody Uber, catch her ride, walk, or whatever the case may be, right? So I don't know, y'all. I'm telling you, this is so suspicious.
Defamation actions. So I always tell people this when people ask me, can they sue? People can sue all the time. Whether or not it's going to survive a motion to dismiss, honestly, I've seen it in my career over 22 years. People sue for things that are ultimately going to get dismissed, and it doesn't affect their willingness to do it, their desire to do it. But you're right, there is a litigation privilege, because I guess the mindset, the universal mindset, is that you don't want to be gagging people in a court of law. You want people to have the freedom to express themselves openly without the threat of litigation while they're in litigation, and that's the entire. So to answer your question, it seems like you're right. A litigation privilege does apply, but nowadays people get sued for all kind of things.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a countersuit, because, again, his perspective is this is blackmail. These are false allegations. And by the way, what's the timing of it? And by the way, when we talk about Shannon Sharpe, he's a powerhouse in the podcast space. Hosts Club Shay Shay, Nightcap, tons of followers. According to Front Office Sports, he's expected right now to sign a new contract worth more than $100 million. Do you think that comes into play at all?
Look, and she's waiting for that. She's waiting for that $100 million bills to march in his pocket so she can snatch it, right? A big chunk of it, right?
The problem with people that have those types of contracts is it doesn't have to mean that you're guilty or not guilty. Just the news in and of itself is going to affect your ability to get followers, to do your job, and to execute contracts. Now, if he loses a $100 million contract because of this, whether there's a litigation privilege or not, you can expect a lawsuit. Even if the standard for a motion to dismiss is lower than the standard for a motion for summary judgment.
D-Dot, you was a mess. D-Dot says looking like a gay Magic Johnson. Y'all see that part of his hair? Y'all see that little part? Those are like, remember like back in like the 90s when that was cool, where you going to church on a Sunday, you got your little Easter suit on, and then they got the part in the hair. You just went to go, mama or daddy or grandma or grandpa took you to the barbershop, or maybe they even cut it themselves, and then they put a little line in there. Y'all, that is so like 80s, I think. Oh my goodness, but y'all, let's continue.
You could file a lawsuit. You could survive motion to dismiss, and routinely judges don't like to decide cases on summary judgment.
You
and they often
crazy.
say that almost anything is an issue of fact for the jury, because they know they're not going to get appealed when they make that type of ruling, and they like to kick it to a jury even if it is the type of case that shouldn't survive motion for summary judgment. So what I'm saying is that even if you have a clear defense, even if you don't have a good case, a lawsuit is still something that can be fruitful to either side.
Do you think this is going to end up settling, or is it now just too far down? How do you settle it without one side looking bad?
The problem is, when you're dealing with someone like him, that his livelihood depends on the way that people view him, on whether or not people reject him or not, whether or not people are going to tune in or not. Once we're at this point where me and you are discussing it publicly, and it's out in the media, then how do you really repair his reputation? We look at like Johnny Depp, how Johnny Depp.
And that's true. Michael says that's a parkway, not a part. You, it's hilarious. Lazora said he said what I'm saying. Yeah, he did. BZB says Shannon gonna wish he hadn't gone Easter egg hunting on OnlyFans. I know, right? He gonna be like, man, I should have never pressed that button. I never should have sent that cash app. I should have never signed up for the program. My platinum card. I wish, but platinum card, just needs to be revoked. My OnlyFans card should need to be revoked. I can't take it no more. He probably shut down his OnlyFans account. Was like, let me get out of here because these are some dangerous streets. I can't be treading these in my geriatric years. I'm just saying, y'all. Let's continue.
Had to spend millions of dollars to sue Amber Heard, and at the end of the day, the entire lawsuit was just for him to get back whatever reputation he had, so it wouldn't affect his ability to make money in the future. So, in my opinion, I think that the genie's out of the bottle, and resolving it at this point isn't going to do anything for his reputation. And
Tabby and D-Dot, y'all is hilarious, kid. Y'all is hilarious. Oh my God. Tabby said he probably on OnlyFans right now. Look, shopping for maybe a geriatric one, Tammy. Maybe he'd be like, maybe I need to just go ahead and put only age 52 and above, right? Oh my God, that is hilarious.
his career, but you never know.
Yeah, I'm sure. And look, there could be a lot more to this as this case ultimately progresses. Mauricio Padilla, thanks so much for taking the time. Good to see you.
Yeah, y'all. I don't know what's gonna happen with Shannon Sharpe, but I'm telling you, this case is hotter than fish grease. I mean, the block is hot for Shannon Sharpe right now. I mean, ESPN is on the hot spot because of him. It's crazy. It is blowing up for him. I'm telling you, he ain't gonna be able to sit down comfortably for a very long time. But we gonna see what happens, y'all. Is this girl lying? If she is, are they gonna make her pay? Or I don't know. Or is he gonna have to pay because sounds like he did have a relationship. He couldn't stay his little badonka-donk off. Like Tammy said, he probably on OnlyFans right now as we speak. But he's in the different. He got a different selection. He had to go readjust his settings on his preferences. I am weak. Y'all are hilarious. Thank you guys for stopping in. I love each and every one of you guys. Y'all keep your head on the swivel. And I don't know. And Shannon Sharpe, maybe you need to listen to your sister, your auntie Monique, whatever you want to call her, right? Maybe you need to take heed. I'm just saying, you over here, you like a 18-year-old kid that let loose from mama's house, and you don't know how to act. Maybe you need to clean it up a little bit and stay out them OnlyFans streets. That's just my thoughts to you, Shannon, right? I'm just saying. Tammy says, looking for a new love. I know, right? Oh my goodness. Dita says, peace and tranquility, y'all. Yes, love, peace, and tranquility, y'all. Thank you guys for stopping in. Have a great day. And maybe I may do another live. I'm not sure because I'm busy doing a lot of stuff. But y'all, thanks for stopping in. Leave with love, peace, and tranquility, y'all. And I'll see y'all on the next live. Bye-bye.